What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing good. Happy Saturday. Happy Easter weekend. I wanted to do something a little bit different. I'm at the cigar lounge and I wanted to that light's gonna drive me crazy. I wanted to that's better, a little bit better. I wanted to do maybe like a little bit of a different show or a different publication this week. I wanted to talk about what I see with a lot of people out there. A lot of people want to get financially free. Most likely that's why you participate in this, right? You want to get free. And for a lot of people, it's difficult. And I want to explain that. I want you guys to understand why it's difficult. First and foremost, and I know I've said this before, you're not supposed to be free. Unless your last name is Rockefeller or, anything like that, you're not supposed to be free. Um, how you grew up with your mom and your dad, or maybe your grandparents raised you, or maybe you were in the foster care system, how you grew up, like the path that you knew, the path that you grew up in, like how you learned all of like the cognitive things that you learn, all of the things that you believe, all of that is the opposite of what you should know and believe to get financially free. Okay? So right out the gate, you are fighting some of you 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, even I work with people that are like in their 70s and 80s worth of bad information and honestly, if you've believed something your whole life and you realize or come to find out that it's not true, there's a lot of emotions that come with that. Number one, anger, confusion, bitterness, fear, etc. So all of a sudden you realize, like, hey, maybe what I've known, maybe what I grew up believing, how I've learned to think and talk and live and create, earn money, how I've been taught to pay my expenses, how I've been taught to budget, how I've been taught to have a job and what I'm supposed to invest in. All of that, and I do mean all of it, is complete and utter horse malarkey. All of it. So, first and foremost, you're not supposed to be free. When I started on my journey to freedom, there was a lot that I had to do to rewire and readjust from like a core logic in my life. Number one, I lost all my friends. I lost a lot of family members, just not, they just were not there, right? And it wasn't their choice, it was my choice. I knew that if nothing changes, nothing changes. I knew that radical change would require radical change. So there was that separation, there was elevation through separation. That was a big thing. And then the second thing that I had to do was I had to completely relearn everything about money. What little I knew about wealth, I had to relearn that. And I started hanging out with people that were, at these levels that I wanted to be. So I had to figure that out very quickly that, hey, this feels weird, like there's this rub because they're talking and thinking and believing something that I don't. Okay? So there was that process that happened with me as I started to elevate through separation. Next thing would be, and this is somewhat controversial, but I truly did feel the need to brainwash myself. So I heard that your subconscious can learn unlimited while your conscious can only learn a couple things at a time or perceive a couple things at a time. What I started to do was I invested in some different like apps and like some audio stuff. And at night I would, throw my sleepable AirPod things in and I would play 7, 8 hours worth of audio. And this was all things that were rewiring me. Now, you don't just wake up and remember everything. That's not how brainwashing your subconscious works. It takes some time, and if you listen to the same thing over and over and over again, all of a sudden, without even realizing it, your thoughts are different, and you're like, wait a minute, why did I didn't used to think that. I didn't used to believe that. Why do I believe that that is all of a sudden red when I thought it was blue? You'll start to like notice some of that. So I did that for like 10 months. That was a huge, huge, huge thing for me. So why don't people get free? No one's going to do that, right? Like that's a very strange thing to do. You agree, I'm assuming. The next thing, maybe the reason why a lot of people are not free or won't get free. I didn't have a fear of spending money. Okay. Um, as my cognition changed and as my thoughts started to change, I viewed everything as an investment. So I have been involved in dozens of masterminds. I have bought hundreds of books, mainly Audible. I have spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands on mentors and coaches and consultants and events and etc. I have invested heavily in 50 different things, and out of those 50, a lot of them didn't work out. And there's people have this fear about losing money. What if I lose money? What if I do something and the money in my savings is gone? What if it's gone? That scares the bejesus out of people. And it just didn't for me. In my mind, if I lost everything, if whatever, if my savings was gone, or if I was gonna be a little bit short on rent, if I lost my money, or if I couldn't pay this or pay that, to me, because of how my head was working at the time, it's like, dude, all of that is fake. None of that is even real. None of that is legitimate. So I lose my savings. Nothing happens to me. I would just get my savings back over time. If I was short on my rent, I could figure it out. I could go mow a yard or two on the weekend and I'd be fine. You know, I couldn't afford groceries. I could figure it out. So could you. You just don't believe that. And you're so scared of losing this fake thing called money. Because I've lost millions of dollars. Not all at the same time. Over time, I've lost millions of dollars. I've made mistakes. I've made wrong decisions. And so many people quit after that, or they don't even start because of that fear. So spending money or investing money is another reason why most people don't become successful or financially free. Another one would be skepticism. Some people are crazy skeptical. Like I'm talking like everything's a scam, and if it's not tradition, if it's not 9 to 5, if it's not a 401k, it I'm gonna get scammed. Everybody wants to scam me. Everybody's out to take my money. Everyone's out to screw me over. I've never met, and you haven't, be honest with me, you haven't met a successful person that thinks like that. Name one. Name one billionaire that thinks like that. How about a millionaire? Show me a millionaire that thinks like that. They don't exist. So broke people or people that are struggling financially think that everything's a scam, or or it's not a scam, but I need to research it until I fully understand it to make a decision. The that decision process, I want you to look at it like this. Now there's wisdom, like right, there's something about that that I'll talk about maybe on a different episode. But the decision is, can it be verified logically? And are you a slave? If you are a slave, the decision should be very simple. Do it. Try it. You need to try freaking everything. Okay? Is it logical? Does it make sense logically? Here's an example. Let's just take Blackold Trading. If you don't know, that is one of the companies that I run. We teach people how to day trade, and we have proprietary algorithms. Take something like that. It's been around for a couple years. This is the logic part. It's been around for a couple years. 700 clients, thousands of testimonials. Logically, logically, you could probably say, "Hey, this is probably legitimate." You know, go online. There's not a bunch of bad reviews. That's logic. Okay. So, are you still in financial slavery? Yes. Is this logical? Is this a logical path that I could take? Yes. Do it. Back to the fear of losing money. Get rid of that because it's going to cost money. Do it. Now, it doesn't have to be black gold. You can use that same frame of logic for anything. People are so skeptical and people think everything and everyone is out to get them. So, what they do is they just put it off and they get busy because they're still in that circle, that rat race. Rat race is meant to keep you distracted and busy, you know? Um, I can't go to your event because I have to go to work. I can't join a call because I have to go to work. I couldn't go to a webinar because I have to go to work. That's not by accident, right? You're supposed to go to work, come home, be tired, have family stuff, watch an episode of Game of Thrones or whatever, and go to bed. And then on the weekend, you have family stuff and church and like all of that. You're not meant to have time. I don't have any time. We, yeah, you're not supposed to. I'm just too busy right now. Yeah, you're supposed to be busy. That's what they want. That's what they want. That's what the system is designed to be, is busy. And I'm distracted by, I keep on looking over here. There's a TV. It's an example. I'm distracted by the TV. I'm distracted by my phone. I'm distracted by the notifications popping up on my computer. Some people are like, yeah, man, like I can't get the time off of work to get financially free. What you're doing is you're admitting, I understand that there's something that is keeping me bound, and that's why I can't go get free. If you can identify that there's something keeping you bound and it's preventing you from getting financially free, F this. Who cares, dude? Your boss probably isn't going to fire you if you're late or if you skip something or if he catches you on a Zoom call. And if he does, guess what? Right now there's millions of jobs available. So I won't keep you guys all day, but I wanted to talk about some of the reasons why most people will not get financially free. There's a couple others, like just briefly. Grit. If it's hard, if it's uncomfortable, I'm out, or I'll taper off. If it's hard, if it's uncomfortable. I know like mega successful people, well, moderately successful people that, try to do like trading as an example, and it's just hard. They're like, yeah, this is too hard. I'm not going to do this. Okay, got it. So it's hard. It takes grit and perseverance. Doesn't happen quickly. We live in a fast food society where everything's quick. I can DoorDash steak and lobster and it'll be at my house before I get there. It's just quick. So I appreciate you guys. I hope that this style of publication or whatever is okay. I do these from time to time. I think it's easier than me, typing a lot. I'm not an author. So I hope you guys enjoy this and catch you guys real soon.